So, international trade has had a very turbulent year. What will your party do to improve Canada's trade relations?
I mean, I think the fact that there's been turbulence, we've seen the rise of governments around the world that are focused on looking inwards as opposed to looking elsewheres. And there are challenges, there's no doubt, with the trade situation that we have right now. Our government was focused on working to get a new deal with the United States as part of the Kings-Hants negotiations to open up trade opportunities. Our government has been focused on trying to export particularly agricultural products. And we know here in Kings-Hants that we have the opportunity, whether it's apples, whether it's our wines, we need to be focused on trying to reach export markets around the world. So we've been focused on that, we'll continue to do that, and international trade plays a big part of our strategy at the Liberal level, but also can benefit us here locally, of course, as well.
So I think recent developments have indicated to us that perhaps we're over-reliant on trade, and that if we develop a thriving local economy, we wouldn't be so dependent on massive exports and making deals with other countries when we have demand right here in our own country. I'll just leave it.
We at the People's Party understand the importance of establishing good free trade agreements. We oppose how the last trade agreement was conducted between Justin Trudeau and the United States, who we have 20% of our trading there with. The one sticking point with them, with Donald Trump, was if you remove supply management, we will have a much better deal. We did not do that. And most countries are asking for us to relinquish some of that protectionism. Any of these industries need to have some sort of export to grow. You look at what's happening on the South Shore of Nova Scotia. They are thriving right now because Canadians eat certain fish, or certain parts of the fish, but there's definitely a need for different varieties out there. So China is driving up the demand, and they're buying a lot of products from the South Shore. So if we had milk, eggs, poultry out there, the world loves Canadian agriculture and food, and they view it as the most pure and pristine thing. So I would really, really like to see us get into more free trade agreements with everybody to support Brexit if they need help. And we'll be talking with absolutely everybody to see the best deal we can get for Canadians. Thank you.
We have seen weak leadership at the top when it comes to our trade relations across the world. Justin Trudeau sold out our dairy and our chicken farmers. And this is an election not about Stephen Harper, but about Justin Trudeau's record. We have the highest standards in the world for our dairy and our chicken and our farmers. We have seen weak leadership with his trade negotiations with China, with India, and new NAFTA. Why do we think that he will be any stronger with the new negotiations that are coming up and down the pipeline? We need a leader that we can count on, who will protect our supply management process, that will not sell our farmers under the bus. Thank you.
Canada is a trading nation. We've always been a trading nation, and we always will be. So the NDP is committed to free trade, but free trade that respects labor, that respects the environment, and we're also very much strong supporters of supply management, and we'll fight tooth and nail to make sure the supply management system stays in place and that we don't have encroachment of American dairy products in Nova Scotia and otherwise. So we're committed to free trade. We're also committed to multilateral institutions like the World Trade Organization. Because we're a small country, we desperately need these agencies, these international agencies. And as your MP, I would fight I would be a very strong proponent of export markets for Nova Scotian products, agricultural, seafood, everything. I think there's a real booming market for our products, and I think we should be more opportunistic and take advantage of the idiocy in the United States as far as tariff is concerned. So we should maybe create a separate department just to capitalize on these tariffs that the United States is implementing.
Okay, Barbara, we're back to you again. The federal tax changes for family businesses in 2017 caused Canadian business owners a great deal of unnecessary stress and worry. Will your party support a full federal tax review? And if not, why not?
I have to tell you, I do not know the answer to that question, and I'm not going to make it up because it's Green Party policy and I just don't know it. Definitely the Green Party believes in keeping small business tax at the level that it is and not increasing it. They're concerned to support small business because they create, small and medium-sized businesses create 70 to 80% of the jobs in this country. So definitely wanting to support that, and I would have to get back to you on the review of taxes.
Repeat, but could you repeat that?
The federal tax changes for family businesses in 2017 caused Canadian business owners a great deal of unnecessary stress and worry. Will your party support a full federal tax review? And if not, why not?
The People's Party is looking to do an entire tax reform, especially helping out small business owners with flat tax of 10%, but in several other ways they're going to be able to benefit and put more money in their pockets and therefore invest into the businesses, such as scrapping the carbon tax. So keeping the places heated and driving to and from work, that's going to help out a lot. And there's going to be no income tax on your first $15,000, so the lowest income earners, that's going to help. There's going to be two simple tax brackets. So for anything up to $100,000 and anything over $100,000, so 25 or anything over, 15% on anything from your first 15,000 up to 100,000. So as well, we're going to abolish the capital gains tax. So by doing all of these things, it's really going to help Canadians to be able to afford the basics instead of getting all these little cap and trades or handoffs or little government things that might sound nice. We know that you can spend that money a heck of a lot better than the government. The government will look at your excess, and that's what they'll call it, excess. We know that that's roof repairs or something else. It's important to you. Thank you.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Liberal record for small business. They increased CPP and EI premiums. They increased personal income tax rates for entrepreneurs, and made changes to the small business tax rate that would disqualify thousands of local businesses from getting the tax deductions they deserve. And they doubled the tax on the sale of a farm from parents to children, making it more economical to sell the family farm to a stranger. I grew up in a small business. My husband and I owned a small business. I understand what it is to work long hours and take all the risks. As an owner, I am the last one to be paid. We promise to repeal the changes to the income tax system and make it easier to navigate. And we will lower the tax rate for green technology companies from 15% to 5%.
We don't have a policy specific to what you mentioned, but I and the NP are very strong supporters of small businesses and very strong supporters of entrepreneurs. We feel it's the backbone of our economy. When we do raise taxes, we're raising taxes on large corporations and the upper 1%. We have absolutely no plans on raising taxes on entrepreneurs or small business. In fact, while we are advocates for a $15 minimum wage, we appreciate how that may impact on small businesses. So we're very much in support of increasing the labor tax rebate to small businesses that may feel a pinch of an increase in labor and wage labor, and very supportive as well as any other kind of tax reduction that would offset increase in labor and wages that small businesses may incur as part of an increase in minimum wage. Thank you.
I think we we all certainly know the importance of small businesses and the role that they play, particularly in rural communities. And you know, the focus of the Liberal government over the last 4 years was to support middle income and put money in the pockets of those that are needed the most and that are going to focus on driving the economy. We've seen the results. 1 million new jobs added since 2015. Unemployment is at an all-time low in this country right now. And as it relates to the question on the Carter Commission, we don't have a specific policy at this point, Greg, but I know that it's important for small business and entrepreneurs, particularly in rural communities, and that's something that perhaps as your member of parliament we can look at and reevaluate the tax system. Thanks.